another episode of Behind the Visor here for the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. We're back in the studio. Caroline Aldano has joined us here, and Mark Crutcher from TA2 Muscle Cars as well. Great to have Kaz on here. You'll be co-hosting with me today, of course.
I know. I don't know how we managed that, but it's going to be fun.
Oh, we know you like getting in front of the camera. And Mark Crutcher, we couldn't go a season without talking to the Crutch, could we?
No, fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Oh, look, Mark, let's touch on TA2 for a second, because it was an incredible TA2 endurance race that we had up there in Queensland Raceway, wasn't it? It's a big names, Todd Hazelwood, Timmy Slade, Brody Kostecki. Even great to see Paul Morris back in a car.
Yeah, the dude was back there. Look, it was an incredible field. I think it was the best race meeting we've ever been involved in, to be honest. It was, it went like clockwork. Look, there were some issues. That happens when you've got a lot of cars there, but to have that standard of driver there and to have the quality of racing we had was outstanding. And what a great track to watch it, really. Queensland Raceway, you can see it from everywhere. We intend to do all our enduros there. I think that's going to be our home for our enduros, which is a massive part of our program now.
Yeah, we tried a couple of tracks, didn't we? Darwin, obviously, there was a big effort up there a couple of years ago. Last year at the Bend, but I think Queensland Raceway really does make a good endurance little round. Like you say, the viewing's incredible. Like, for everyone who came out, you can park your cars around the track, you can see everything. Yeah,
it's winter. Everyone wants to be there. It's got corporate facilities. Look, it just ticks every box we want. And as you've seen from the crowd and the people around, we had all positive feedback. So it was.
Yes. And our home turf, hey? We didn't have to travel.
Even better, isn't it?
Yeah,
I still call New South Wales home. I just happen to be in Queensland a lot at the moment with work commitments with HCC.
No, it was a good one for me. It was a nice little trip home, and I got to stay in my bed, so...
It's always nice when you can use your own pillow when you travel, isn't it? It's terrible when you're staying away in hotels and things like that. Look, let's touch a bit on the organisation. Obviously, HCC, you acquire TA2, then you go and acquire Trans Am. Now, what is involved in that? I mean, the incredible growth you've had, do you think having both series under one umbrella is really attributed to that?
Yeah, look, Paul Hadley and Graham Cheney, my fellow directors and business partners, from day one we probably had a 3-year plan. Fortunately and unfortunately, it all happened in 6 months. The growth has been enormous, the amount of competitors we have in both series, and they're distinctly different, even though they're the same cars, but both are as important as each other. But when we went to acquire PBR off Peter and Dana, a big part of that was talking to Barry and Gary Rogers, getting a 5-year commitment from them guys so that we could sign a deal, so that we kept it all happy. And in the end, after a couple of meetings, I had a chat with Barry, and we actually acquired Trans Am, probably a bit quicker than we really needed to, but it's brought it all back under the one umbrella. We can make decisions that's best for both categories at once, and we show the same amount of love to both categories. They're critically important to us. It's really helped us to negotiate as well when we're going forward with sponsors and everything else. So, and I think everyone feels the love, because the three of us are racers. We're there for the races, and we're there for them. So it's been a great acquisition for us and really strengthened us.
Yeah, for me, it's incredible growth, Kaz. I mean, we're seeing some big names.
Yeah.
You're starting to see the Richards come through there. I mean, the people wanted to be part of the Enduros. You know, Brody Kostecki and Paul Morris just throw, the Flash's car in there just for a weekend. I mean, I think it really comes back to the organisation to create that atmosphere that everyone wants to be part of.
That's really good. I mean, let's just talk about Brody and... Todd, going down the straight, head to head, like the crowds there. Here they are, and obviously they've just won down at the Supercars in Adelaide, where you were just at. But how good was that?
Incredible, and a big thank you to George and Hi-Tec Oil to make it possible as well. Let's not forget that. Very important to us and to the whole structure we have as well. But to watch them two racing in, who'd ever thought we'd get them in a TA2 car or a Trans Am car? Whatever, they're the same car, but to get them in a TA2 car and to actually want to be there, and they rang me looking for a position, so it was just like, of course we'll have you in the field, we'd love to have you there, and to see them drag down that front straight,
I know.
2 champions of Bathurst last year, it makes you really proud. Even the competitors there are proud of what we've been able to achieve.
Yeah, going door to door and giving a thumbs up as they go. Well, they're telling us a thumbs up. I don't know, the TV cameras were a bit far away. Maybe there were some other signals. Have them go door to door. Incredible, went for a number of corners. I mean, the racing was great up at Queensland Raceway. I mean, it's been a fantastic all season. Do you think, though, with all these people coming on board, the amount of cars we're seeing going through, what are some of the challenges you're facing?
Oh, obviously, the growth has been substantial very quickly. So, obviously, financially, it's a massive effort for the three of us, because we've got to hold a lot more stock. We've ordered 18 new cars, and most of those have been sold. So logistically, we've got to get them in over the next 3 months. And now with Chevrolet as a great partner as well now, so we put the motors in here, the gearboxes here as well. So there's been some massive challenges for our staff, and thankfully they've all banded together. So great thank you to everyone at HCC for helping us. But look, we're behind the 8 ball. We've got struggles. It is difficult. When you order a container now, you're really waiting 4 or 5 months. Even the stuff that happens politically with Trump over there and tariffs, it makes things are becoming more expensive. So we're doing our best to counter that, and the best way for us is to get more bums in seats. And if we do that, we can try and keep our costs the same, because it's about getting competitors into the category, and that'll take care of any other issue.
Yeah, it's nearly impossible to buy a second-hand car at the moment. Really, they're all snaveled up. So I mean, that's you got to take your hats off to the HCC crew for doing that, don't you?
So how does that work? So we see a bit of carnage out there on the track, and you've got the parts available in the truck. But how do you keep on top of it if the demand is so high, yet you've got to wait such a long time?
It is difficult, and the previous management used to get 3 containers a year, and but we basically made a decision after our second meeting that we want to get a year's supply. So we actually now try and keep a year's supply, and we're building up to that now, so that we're only actually replenishing up to a year. So the last thing we want to do is have our competitor not be able to get the product, and hopefully we can keep the prices down by buying as much. But the supply chain is very difficult. We've got to go to Howe, which are great business partners of ours. Same thing though, they have got to find the supply in America. And they used to also source outside of America as well. With the tariffs and everything go there, it makes it more difficult for them to bring parts in as well. Something I will say, we are absolutely trying to get as much as we can in Australia now. We've got great support from Howe, but the things they can't provide us or a backup when they can't get it, we try and source here in Australia now and support Australia.
So my question is, we know you like a new car smell. How many containers come in just for Crutcher's racing?
Yeah, I've had 2 brand new cars now, and I started one at Darwin when I went into the wall, and this time I think Coxie came in after Jordan Cox, who's just an incredible talent. But he came in after his race, and I told him to go back out because he still had 2 panels to go. And then we caught on fire, of course.
If you wanted airtime, all you had to do, we've got you on this show, you don't need to wreck your car.
Yeah, I seem to be able to get myself plenty of airtime for being in the wrong spot.
One thing I want to know, Jordan Cox, he's been alongside you for a couple of seasons now in Enduros as well as behind the scenes, obviously helping with some driver training. What is the one thing he always tells you to do that you don't do?
I'll probably win. But there's the pure reality. There's a lot of talents around it. Jordan thinks I have trouble focusing. I think he's been talking to my wife, so I think he's been great. There's been a lot of people who have been helping me in the last 5 or 6 years. Oh, yes, Paul Hadley and Graham Cheney and all their staff helped me a lot for the last couple of years as well. So I tell you what's fun, being in business that you love with your mates. And they're 2 good mates of mine, and we're loving what we're doing at the moment, and hopefully that filters out to the rest of the teams as well, because we just love being part of it.
It's not only that, your wife, Graham's wife, they're always at the track helping out as well, so it's sort of become like a family business almost. Oh
yeah, well Graham's wife and my wife were in Adelaide the weekend. I was at a bucks party for my brother in Sydney, so I missed the tail and bend around, but yeah, they love it too. They're into it. It's hard work, but it's very rewarding because one thing about motor racing I love, it's got a lot of positive people in there. If you're racing a car, you're either got an ego or you're highly successful anyway, because it's not cheap. Let's be honest. But those people are contagious, and when you hang around people like I can do people, it's really a wonderful environment to be in.
It's a great family atmosphere, isn't it?
It is. That's probably been the real success of the Hi-Tec series, that even all the different categories are involved. It is family, and everyone will help each other out. If we have a problem, there's other mechanics come over and help, and we see that in the other classes that run under the same banner. So congratulations to you guys too. It's just tremendous.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that, didn't we, in Enduros. Now let's move on to Mallala. We go to our next round. Now we haven't had national racing there in something like 16 years. Now you guys, a little sneak peek. Graham Cheney might have gone there and done a little bit of testing. You're telling us? Yeah,
he was there yesterday. Apparently, said there was 100-mile-an-hour winds there. I looked for some videos of it, and I found Marcus Ambrose racing someone 20 years ago. So there was a lot of names that I now know in motorsport racing there. It looks like it's going to be a tight circuit. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like it's old school, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm a little bit old school. We're really looking forward to it.
I've been down there, and what do you think of? It's got like a NASCAR feel, hasn't it? Because it's an open pit lane. There's no garages. I don't know how we're going to juggle doing our interviews, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge. So how do you think the teams will cope with, having that little wall?
Bit old school, agricultural. Won't be the fancy sheds you're getting used to.
It's good, isn't it?
It's precious.
It's grassroots. It's what it is. It's back to old style. I don't think any of our drivers are precious. I can tell you that. And most of them are pretty damn good. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. Look, I remember a couple of years ago we done the one in the Thunderdome. What was it? Calder. At Calder, unfortunately, some of the facilities aren't great, but what great fun we had. It didn't matter.
It's just got that historic atmosphere. Like you walk in there and you can sense the history.
Yeah, it's a racetrack. It's got to be great. Yeah.
Oh, I'll follow up on that after the event. We'll see how you go.
Oh, Mark, it's been great having you here. We know you're a busy man. You've got to go up and pick your car up from Queensland. So we're going to let you get out of here because that's had a fair bit of work done to it since the last round. We're going back with Robbie Farr, not too far away, as we get him on the Speedway legend, also part of the TA2 Muscle Car Series in 2025. We'll be back shortly.
Hi-Tec Performance Oils. You want the best for your car. Drive well, stay safe with Hi-Tec Oils.
Welcome back here to Behind the Visor. It was great to have Mark Crutcher on the show here a bit earlier talking about all things TA2 muscle cars. Now we're going to change up a little bit here, Kaz, because we're going to bring Mitch now from the Sydney International Speedway because there's some massive announcement happening in that area, Mitch. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, guys.
I suppose one of the biggest announcements we've seen all over social media and through the media itself is the fact that Hi-Tec Oils now involved.
Absolutely. Following on from the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series, met up with George, and here we are, the Hi-Tec Oils Sprint Car Super Series.
Yay!
Based out of Sydney. So it's exciting times and great branding, great exposure for our sport. So we couldn't be happier to have George and the Hi-Tec brand on board.
Speaking of someone else who's got plenty of Hi-Tec branding, also Speedway background, Robbie Farr, welcome to the show as well.
Yeah, hey guys, how you going?
Oh, it's great to have you here, mate. How was your Enduro Cup season? You actually went all right. Were you a top 10 finish in the end over the weekend?
We run 9th there to the last restart and probably just got jumped on the restart with a couple of minutes to go, end up 11th. So we were pretty happy with that. It was a really good fun weekend, actually. I really enjoyed it.
Look, how is the TA2 journey going for you? We've spoken to you numerous times, probably the end of 2024, where you did a couple of rounds and then at the start of the season, but how are you sort of feeling it out in that Masters category? You're sort of up there.
Yeah, look, it's been good. I think you're trying to get your head around it, which we spoke about in the past, trying to get your head around that whole thing from Speedway to road racing is a big concept, but I'm actually starting to feel really comfortable in it and enjoying it more and more as I go. We don't do a lot of testing. Most of our learning's done at the racetracks, at the race meetings. So that's difficult and a little bit frustrating at times, but that's just our program at the moment. We need to hopefully have a good winter, do some more tests. I really want to hit next year hard if we can, stay involved in the series and, looking forward to enjoying the progress part.
And what do you think about the news? Obviously, with Sydney International Speedway, it's getting a bit of a jump start there with Hi-Tec Oils getting involved as well with Mitch.
Yeah, it says like Mitch. Hey, Mitch, how are you, buddy? Looks like doing a really good job there, mate. It's exciting to see Hi-Tec involved in Speedway again. More to the capacity that they used to be when I was driving for with the Hi-Tec Oils sprint car. So, look, I think Sydney Speedway, definitely is trying to do some really good things there, and I'm sure Hi-Tec Oils will give that shot in the arm that it needs.
Robbie, let's just talk about the Speedway. Obviously, that's your background, Speedway. But I also see you going in the dirt a fair bit in the old TA2. So what's the transition from dirt to...
It's very hard to get out of your system. So you just drop a wheel in the dirt.
You've got your mates from Speedway with you as well. Reedy and domain. So, you know, do you get together and talk about how many times you do go off track and how difficult it is, or what's the transition been like?
Look, it's been a big undertaking, probably, which that probably excites me more than anything. To try and learn something completely new that there's no crossover is the exciting bit for me, and that's the bit that I'm thriving on, and looking forward to obviously progress more. But yeah, I talk to Domain and Reedy a lot, and Jason Pride, Speedway guy. Seems to be a lot of Speedway people involved in the TA2 Trans Am side of things these days, and everyone's just enjoying the challenge, and you know, it seems like every time I race, I'm either me and Domain are glued together or me and Reedy are glued together. So we seem like we can't stay away from each other at the moment.
Well, you're further away from the fences, though. I suppose that's a bit nicer. You're not hanging off them and rolling over as much.
Yeah, look, the massive different characteristics between TA2 and sprint cars. Yeah, sprint cars are pretty entertaining from a crowd aspect with the flying through the air upside down and open wheel racing. You touch wheels, you can tear up a race car pretty quick. So you can lean on, where the TA2 is Trans Am, more of a panelled car. You can sort of lean on each other a little bit more without the major consequences. What
do you find is the biggest change in terms of a weekend approach? I mean, obviously Speedway, a lot of the times you're racing afternoon under lights. Circuit racing a lot more during the day. What's it like in the pits? Is the family side a bit easier in circuit racing, or what do you find the differences there behind the scenes?
Good question. There's pluses and minuses to both. I think the sprint cars, you're kind of in and out. In probably 6-7 hours. From the time you roll in the pits, to the time you roll out with the truck loaded. Where this is more of a 3-day event, which for us as a family, that was a big tick. Just to slow it all down a bit. You're there for 3 days. You got time to process things between races and go sleep on it, come back better the next day. So doing 6 or 7 races a year, but being over 3 days is fine. Speedway doesn't have that luxury in the respect that the top teams are doing 50 nights of racing a year over every state in the country multiple times. So you don't do those 3-day events very rarely.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, we've got Mitch here and, your background. I mean, tell us, you've just got so much success behind you. For those that are looking at going into Speedway, not so much, TA2, how did you get started and what's your success been like?
My journey, my path was probably somewhat set for me in a little respect. I come from a family, dad raced Speedway and super modified sprint cars and that sort of stuff. So we always had, a Speedway car in the garage as such. From time I was 6 weeks old, I was in the back of a Bronco going to Adelaide and spent my whole youth chasing dad around the racetracks and just get dragged from pillar to post, from Speedway to Speedway. So it was a pretty easy transition from there. But there's so much has changed over those 30, 35 years that, there's so many good junior categories now in Speedway that wasn't there back in the day. You can really get your kids involved in Speedway, 13, 14 years old and start building that racecraft early, and then come up through the categories to, ultimately end up in, late models or sprint cars or speed cars, whatever it may be. But there's such a good junior path there now that wasn't there years ago.
Yeah, Mitch, I suppose we can start to talk about Sydney International Speedway here.
Yep.
Is some of the categories we're going to start to see appearing there. What is the outlook for the next season?
The outlook for us this season is a less is more approach. Robbie will probably know, back in the Parramatta days, 18 sprint car shows in the season. Sydney's a tough market now, so we're scaling that right back to 6 shows for the main game, and we're going to try and get more people to less events. So sprint cars are still going to be number one for us, but we're going to look at doing different things that mainstream speedways haven't done previously. Bring your Speedway motorcycle racing back with, a huge event on Boxing Night. I just think we need to change it up. Speedway's been pretty stagnant for a long time now, and if we don't change the path that we're on, we're just going to follow suit and do nothing different. So the Hi-Tec Oils Sprint Car Super Series was the first change, and now we're just going to keep going and do things a little differently and try and make the venue work as a whole, as not just a speedway.
So is that to compact a show into 5 or 6 hours for a family to come along, really enjoy themselves?
Yeah, definitely. You have to enjoy going to the track. You got to want to be there, And if you're given the opportunity to go 15 or 16 times a year to watch the same sprint cars drive around, the hype's not there. So for us, run them less often, create the hype, make sure people don't want to miss out, get there when they can. So for us, it's all about bigger crowds, bringing the people back to the Speedway. It's a tough time in life now. People can lay on their lounge, watch Netflix, order Uber Eats. They don't, literally 3 minutes after the checkered flags drop, they know the results. So we want to try and get them back to the track, get them back to the venue and make a bit of a show of it.
It's a challenging process for you to get that done, though, isn't it? Like, you've got lots of hurdles to get over to, even getting you here today. Do you want to talk us through that?
Lots of hurdles would be an understatement. Look, it is a beautiful facility. George and his team have been out there and looked through it. The corporate boxes are fantastic. The fibre all through the complex, paved pit area. It's all beautiful. But it's owned by the government, it's built by the government, and it has to be run that way. And I don't know that Speedway as a whole has quite worked that out yet, that we have to take a different approach in order to keep the gates open. So we've had our back against the wall from the start, and Sydney Speedway's had a lot of bad press, and the eyes are definitely on us. So, we're doing our best to make it right. And hopefully we might see Robbie back in a sprint car one day.
Yeah, you never know, mate. It definitely haven't retired from it. It's I'm just enjoying the journey I'm on at the moment. But yeah, look, always if the right opportunity come up, I'd never do it like I used to, as much as I used to. But yeah, right opportunity, right time, right place. Well, it's always a thought that goes through your head. So, and I think Mitch, you're 100% correct. Speedway, when I started doing it, as you said, 18 shows at Parramatta on a Friday night. It used to be on a Friday night back in the day. There was less competition in Sydney for your dollar. Now with so many sports playing at night, you've got your Netflix and all the other things and live TV that's out there. I think it's good and refreshing that someone's looking at Speedway. And it has to be an event. Every event has to be an event. It just can't be open the gates and hope people come. So I think it's good to see fresh eyes on it, and hopefully giving that point of difference and that entertainment dollar back into promoting.
We're only asking for you 6 nights over a season now, Robbie. Just 6.
Yeah, you never know. As I said, you never know. We don't do a lot of TA2 in the summer, do we?
Look, the other thing is that's a motorsports mecca there, right? You've got Sydney Motorsport Park, you've got the drags. I mean, it's in a prime location now being out there.
It is in a prime location, but that comes with its flaws too, because if you're a rev head, any single weekend there's a ticketed motorsport event on at Sydney Motorsport Park. So we're trying to get their business and get them to come to the Speedway. Well, we've got to compete against the Burnout Show, compete against drags or roll racing or World Time Attack, whatever it may be. If you're a rev head, Sydney Motorsport Park's where it's at. So we're just another one in the long line. So we've got to make our events stand out. We've got to have a point of difference.
Mate, it's a tough gig getting those calendar dates locked in, isn't it?
I've had my calendar dates set for nearly 2 months.
Yeah, right.
But issues with certain governing bodies and government departments means we just haven't been able to release it. Like, we've promised it to the general public plenty of times, and it's sitting there ready to go. We just can't release it yet. It's crazy.
Yeah, Kaz, I mean, you're our series manager. I mean, you know the struggles behind the scenes. I mean, we're looking at 2026 and just trying to juggle and looking at everyone else's calendar. I mean,
it's like, we can't go on that day.
There's so many other factors, isn't there? Like you got to talk to the racers and find out what they've got on as well, because probably like yourself, the circuit races go overseas and do 24 or 12-hour racing. You got guys in Australia that go to American race.
Absolutely, and they're going now where they used to go for a couple of weekends. Now they're doing 3-month stints.
Yeah, so there's so many factors involved in a series, isn't there?
It's a lot.
And so many other tracks. TA2 or Trans Am run certain weekends at certain tracks. Sprint cars might be at 15 different tracks throughout the country on one night. So it's very hard when your customer base is spread so thin.
Did you hear that, guys? It's very hard.
It is. I don't envy you.
Yeah.
Look, I think the announcement's great from Hi-Tec. Obviously, that support behind it puts a great Australian brand, I think, behind it, which we've seen with the Super Series, obviously, over the last... We're in our third season now under that, and it's been growing each year. I think, it'll be a great thing for the Speedway, but we know you've got your challenges out there, but I think you're on the right path. It creates some excitement, give it a bit of a buzz, I suppose, so everyone comes down and enjoys it.
It's definitely the plan. And hopefully one day we might see a TA2 race on dirt. What do you reckon, Robbie?
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be
As
cool.
long as I'm not paying for the panel damage, I'm all about it.
Mate, they've already got the Hoosiers on. We'll be ready to go. Look, I want to thank you, Mitch, and
Thanks for having me, guys.
all the best at Sydney
Thanks,
International Speedway, of course. We can't wait for that season to get underway, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more announcements.
Hopefully
if they
we'll see
want to watch
the crew out there.
Yeah, best of luck.
I think the Super Series crew will have to come out. It shares the Super Series name.
It's a must.
No.
Yeah.
Robbie,
Thank you for having me.
thanks for coming on the show. Robbie as well. We
Good to
can't wait to
see you,
see you at Mullala, not too far away.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. We'll see you there, guys.
Plenty of dirt. We'll just stay off that dirt this time round.
Yeah.
We're going to be back after this short break, and we're going to be talking all things with the Australian Super Truck Series right after this.
Hearn went for the outside in a white Exchange Hotel Chevy Camaro. So in turn one we go for the first time, and the charge into turn one. Big contact in the middle. Jordan Cox is involved with Ryan with Hazelwood, who used the reflexes like a cat, and there's several cars. The Nash Morris car is in there, Barguana is in there, the Daniel Dillison car is in, and that is huge damage to the 18. Parked down there at turn two, safety car is going to be called. Here we get on board, this is Josh Thomas. And it was Jordan Cox across on Todd Hazelwood. It was Kostecki in the Norwell car, then Hazelwood into Cox, then... Can you pick this up? Oh gosh, there's a lot to look at. But here is front on, so it was in the middle of the pack there. Jordan Cox in the Mark Crutcher, what was a brand new car incidentally. A lot of damage, but more concern for the 18 of Morris.
Dave is pushed wide, and now is oh no, is that the Richards car as well? Out on the dirt once again. Oh, hopefully he doesn't rejoin in front of any cars. Yeah, there's plenty of side-by-side racing, but Jared Hughes, he led the race for about one lap, and a mistake that we didn't catch on camera. He went wide and went back to free position. Then there was this moment which brought out the safety car.
Down at turn 6 off the track is the just recently repaired 51.
They're running a bit sideways though, very, very sideways on the exit of the corner, and they're both up again. Oh dear me. So, big air for Emery. He hit one of the service roads. He flew up into the air.
Let's have a look at the replay here. Now he's sideways, a bit of contact made there. Oh, I might have seen that a little earlier, but yeah. This is where the problem is, very wide. Have a look at the dirt. He's launched the car, all four wheels in the air.
He's forced to Riders get a brake late, go around the outside, but Riders in too deep. Again, it's not that initial lockup, but mid-corner, locks up, runs wide, and he's going to fall behind.
Much like he did in race number 2, he's a little bit of brake light. Who's that already off? Hayden Jackson in the 81, is it?
It is.
Yes.
The luckless Hayden Jackson.
Some of the highlights, some of the replay.
Cheating, but that's a separate incident there. So the IES Motorsports car. And fire down here in pit lane for the number 4 car.
That's that exhaust. They've had a lot of flame there, haven't they?
And Hayden Jackson straight out there with a fire extinguisher. That while they were plugging Mark Crutcher in.
Needs front leather. Now the plastic's on fire. So there's a big fire there, big moment for him. Hopefully he gets to our picture very, very quickly down here for the 14, Williams.
But Emery buys back at turn 1. There's a big hit. There is contact, and Taunton finds himself go backwards through the grass and into the barrier. Oh dearie me, the two championship leaders have come together at turn number 1.
Gardner, so just got the car off the track there. Here it is from the Hi-Tec. He got a bump. Wasn't happy, wasn't always working the steering wheel.
Oh no, Matt McCain. That can't be.
That can't be the same drama what we had here in the previous round.
Nathan Hearn leaving.
Oh
no.
In the background, heavy contact in the final turn. And another car parked in the gravel, lugging 2 cars. The 4 after all that work, and Blanchard also in there.
Hi-Tec Performance Oils. You want the best for your car. Drive well. Stay safe with Hi-Tec Oils.
Well, it's great to have everyone joining us back here at Behind the Visor. And of course, we are going to change the tune. It's been all about Hi-Tec Oils and their support through motorsport for this episode. And we're going to move on to the Australian super trucks. Kaz, we've got Bobby Dale and Marcus Prillwitz here with us. Super trucks. They're big. There's lots of diesel coming out of the exhaust, but the crowds love them.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I saw you first at Winton. Big crowds.
Yeah, there's always a good crowd. Morgan Park last week, it was massive, huge.
Yeah, I saw the footage of that.
Yeah.
That was really good. What happened to your truck?
Oh yeah, I broke a crankshaft.
Not good.
No, not good. That's kind of what happens when. So nothing on our trucks, on any of the trucks, is built for high performance. So everything we do, whether it's a Cat, Cummins, Detroit, everything we do is kind of homemade with what would be factory parts, and the more horsepower you pull out of them, the more unreliable they'll be.
Marcus, tell us how you got into truck racing, because it's not, it's not mainstream media, I suppose. I mean, I've watched it lots on YouTube and other programs, but it's, we don't see it at the supercars and things like that. So how did you get involved in truck racing?
I actually had a workshop next to Barry Butwell.
Oh, wow.
Who was the driver for number 13 for 10 years or so. And he and I became friends, and just looked like something fun to do.
Well.
You talk about the crowds up at Morgan Park. I mean, what do you think it is about the truck racing that brings the crowds in? Is it because it's different? I mean, the noise, they're big. I mean, the size of a truck compared to a race car, even a TA2 muscle car, it takes up a lot of space. A lot of real estate on a racetrack.
The footprint's big, yeah. It's I suppose there's a bit of bashing and crashing goes on. Not that we really mean it, but yeah, it's just a good spectacle for the crowd. So.
Is that the feedback you get?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
What are the challenges that you face, being a truck? Is there restrictions to different tracks where you go to? Are you welcomed? Are you not welcomed?
We haven't been welcomed too well for the last few years. Oh, well, for the last 10 or so years, it'd be, I'd say. We were stuck at Winton. Winton was the only track that'd have us. We've broken down a few of those bridges now, and the tracks that have opened their arms have been rewarded with the crowd, so it's been really good.
Well, you went to Adelaide. Look at the crowd there.
Oh, it was massive. Malala was massive. So.
Yeah, give us an insight into Malala, because you guys have been there this year. We're about to go there. That's our next round. What do the drivers and the crowd and everyone need to look forward to?
Oh, look, it's a good racetrack. It's grassroots, though. It's Robbie Farr would be happy with the dirt, I think. There's lots of dirt, but lots of dust. It's a good track, a good crew that run it, and they'll have fun there in the TA2 cars.
Well, let's just go back to Winton for a moment. The reason we've invited you today is because we've got a little bit of an announcement. Would you like to have the pleasure? Yeah,
sure. We're joining the Hi-Tec Super Series for your final round, I think it is, yeah. On the 1st and 2nd of November. The super trucks will be part of it, so it's awesome.
We're super excited to have you join us for our final round. I know the locals are super keen to get back to the track to watch you.
Yeah.
You definitely draw in the crowds, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, hopefully it'll be a big one. So the weather will be better, hopefully, than it was last time we were there, which was flooded out. And we'll be running a long circuit again, which will be the second time in a long time since we've done that. All the drivers loved it.
It's going to be great to see that out there compared to all of our other categories that we have at our meeting, isn't it? I mean, just the size, how the other competitors get around it, I suppose. We've seen drifting come to the Hi-Tec Super Series as well, and we watch so many competitors come out and enjoy that. I think the trucks will be another sort of addition to that, where they come out. It's going to be a good spectacle to really finish off the season for us.
I'm a bit worried about the little legend cars. You're squashing like ants.
We've raced. They've been at another category with us for a while, so yeah, they're.
Don't leave them on track.
So you haven't squashed any yet.
No.
Maybe we get a couple of legend car bodies made up like a truck body.
Yeah.
Just put out some mini ones.
That's it. Hey, I have a question, and don't laugh at me, but back in my Revhead days, we'd go out to the local football ground and get in the dirt there and do donuts and whatever. How do you like, where do you get to do things that you're not supposed to do, that not on a track in a truck? Like, where do you get to do a sneaky little, burnout or let's
Test
see
run.
Yeah, like
a tuning
it's not
run.
like you can hide.
Wing don't like you doing it on the start-finish line, but occasionally it happens.
Stephen, show your ears.
Yeah. But that's other than what on the racetrack with what we do. That's it. There's no proving ground for what we do. Usually, the time to check what you've modified, what you've changed.
Yep.
The more fuel you've given it, or the less fuel you've taken out of it, is Friday.
Wow, so just your practice.
That's it. Yeah. Friday,
right. So you throw everything in, hope for the best.
You try not to change too much. If you change too many things, you don't know what's done what.
Yep.
And if you've gone backwards, you don't actually know what to identify.
What's it like sitting up in a cab? Because like when you're in a race car, they're usually low to the ground. You want to get as low to the ground as possible, so your centre of gravity's down there. Now, all of a sudden, you're sitting up on top of the engine. Is there a lot of body roll in them, or do you really have to stiffen the suspension right up?
They're fairly stiff. So my truck is still on leaves, front and rear. Most of the field now is on coils, at least in coil spring on the rear.
Coil
but my shocks, I've got just zip ties I put around the shocks to check movement, and they move an inch.
Oh, wow.
Unless I come off.
Yeah.
Which happens.
Yeah. So they commonly move more than an inch. How much do you stay on the track? Like how much? I'm not talking you in general, but the trucks themselves. I mean, we've spoken about the size.
One of the reasons a lot of tracks didn't want us was because we were, when I started racing, it was fairly crash and bash. It was. And we've cleaned up. We've got a driver observer. So some of the carnage doesn't occur as often as it used to. But if we all stay on the track, if we all stay on the track, well, they all go back on the trailer.
I've got another question. Does size matter? Like we see these big trucks, we see the small ones, but then you see little ones just zip past the big ones and...
No, it's how you drive it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Not too many of the little ones will zip past the big ones, just saying. It's always the big ones up front. Most of the time.
So, truck racing, for those that are new to it, what do you look for in an exciting track? Obviously, we look like Queensland Raceway's paperclip style. We get some good circuit racing there. You guys just been to Morgan Park, you've been to Mallala, Winton. They're fairly tight sort of tracks in some respects there. Is that more suited to you, or do you like a more open style racetrack should you get the opportunity to go to those bigger tracks?
One thing with our category, we've got to be limited to 160. So too long of a straight, you've got trucks on the limiter and there shouldn't be any passing going on. So
it really is, you like those style of tracks.
Yeah, sort of fast flowing tracks, but not too long a straight.
So at Morgan Park, my truck sort of suited the Morgan Park track pretty well, I thought.
How's it go that turn through when you come up that blind left-hander?
Oh, you just hang on, and your common sense tells you to lift off, but you don't. So some of it's driving style, some of it'll be the weight of the truck, and some of it'll be the braking system and how good their brakes are. I'm pretty full. I've got really good brakes. So that's 9 times out of 10 my advantage. Depending on the track, I might be a little bit short in top end, but I generally recover 1 or 2 truck lengths under brakes. And that's pretty consistent, thankfully.
And they're hard on brakes.
So I can imagine. There's a lot of truck to pull up there.
I was going to say, you need brakes,
10 laps of the long track at Winton, and there was a couple that exploded rotors and things. So
So 12 laps, was that all given for the final run?
No.
I don't know, I'm going to be testing all the brakes, that's for sure.
Look, I can't wait for the final round now, really. I mean, every round's been exciting, I think, for the Super Series this year. There's been something at every round, and we spoke about, obviously, with Mitch with the Speedway. You've got to have those draw cards and that enthusiasm for every round. I think the trucks are going to bring that in November when we head there, back to Winton for our final round.
Yeah, most certainly looking forward to it. Bring your family, bring your friends.
Yeah.
Head to Winton last round.
Last round.
Oh, and the next round. Malala.
Malala. We've got Malala coming up very shortly. Obviously, that's going to be there on the 27th to the 29th of September. 1st and 2nd November is really the race weekend for our final round. We get there on the 30th of October, but that's our Friday practice day. So still a couple of rounds still to go here for the Hi-Tec Oils Super Series. Thanks, Bobby and Marcus, for coming into the studio today to talk everything truck racing.
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again. Excited about the final round. That's a great announcement, and we hope that everyone really checks those dates out on all of our social media sites to find out when that is as well. Kaz, I don't know what else there is to say about what's coming up. I mean, Malala, we've got a nice short little track to get there. It's going to be exciting. I mean, we've only got 8 corners to get around. It's another short track, plenty of runoff there.
I think we'll be doing a lot of running, actually. I've seen the finish line to where, we're doing our interviews, and I'm bringing my running shoes.
I'm lucky I get to stay on the... Oh, I'll have to do an opener, so I suppose I'll have to...
a little bit of cardio.
You're going to bring my umbrella there so I don't get sunburned? Poor J-Mac's going to be... He's going to be burnt as... Oh.
If anyone is heading down to Adelaide, please come and visit us. We've got lots happening there at our next round.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We've got the TA2 muscle cars, the legend cars are back, IRC.
Formula Ford.
Yeah, Formula Ford.
V.
Formula V. The Vs are back, yeah. So they're a couple of great little categories. So it's all happening at Malala on the 27th to the 29th of September. Don't miss out on that one, of course. The Australian Super Trucks at our final round for the 1st and 2nd of November back at Winton Motor Raceway. Thanks everyone for joining us here on Behind the Visor. We've had another great day here in the studio. And of course, we'll do it all again after the next round. Hope to see you then.